Most people believe they stay where they're comfortable. But that's not true. People don't stay where it feels good, they stay where it feels familiar. This is the story of Noah, a man who wasn't happy with his life, but couldn't walk away from it either. Not because he wanted this life, but because his comfort zone was built out of suffering he already knew. Every day looked the same for Noah. Wake up, work a job he hated, come home exhausted, scroll, sleep, repeat. He knew he deserved more. He knew he was capable of more. He even dreamed of more. So why wasn't he changing anything? Every morning, Noah looked at himself in the mirror and whispered the same promise. Tomorrow, I'll fix my life. Tomorrow, I'll start fresh. But tomorrow never came. Because the comfort zone is the most silent cage you will ever live inside. One night, after another disappointing day, Noah decided to take a walk. He ended up on a small quiet street, where he noticed an older man sitting alone on a bench. There was something peaceful about him, something grounded. The old man glanced at Noah and said, "You look like someone who's tired of living the same day over and over again." Noah froze. "How did you know?" he asked. The old man smiled softly. "Because I lived that life once." Noah sat beside him. "Why can't I change?" he asked quietly. "Why does my life stay the same even though I hate it?" The old man replied, "Because your comfort zone is not built from comfort. It's built from familiarity. Your mind would rather keep you in a familiar misery than push you into an unfamiliar improvement. That's why people stay in bad jobs, in toxic relationships, in unhealthy routines. It's not comfort, it's fear disguised as comfort." Noah felt his chest tighten. Because every word was true. And if you've ever felt stuck in a life you knew wasn't meant for you, tap the like button. Not for me, but as a promise to yourself. You're ready to step out of the familiar. The old man leaned back on the bench and watched Noah quietly for a moment. Then he said, "Do you know why your life never changes, even when it hurts you?" Noah shook his head slowly. The old man replied, "Because your mind fears the unknown more than it fears pain." Noah imagined a dark doorway, a symbolic path into something unfamiliar. His chest tightened just at the thought of stepping through it. The old man continued, "Pain is predictable. Discomfort is predictable. Your current life, even if it's miserable, is predictable. But change? Change is uncertain, and the mind hates uncertainty. Your comfort zone," he said, "is just a familiar prison. It feels safe only because you've lived in it for so long. But it's not safety, it's repetition." Noah felt something shift inside him, a truth he had avoided for years. He whispered, "So, I'm not afraid of improving my life. I'm afraid of the unfamiliar version of me that improvement requires." The old man smiled knowingly. "Exactly," the old man said. "Do you know why people stay in the wrong jobs, wrong relationships, wrong routines?" Noah listened carefully. It's because the familiar pain is less frightening than unfamiliar freedom. Most people would rather suffer in what they know than grow in what they don't. Noah closed his eyes. Every word felt like a memory of his own choices. In his mind, Noah saw two paths. One familiar but dark, the other glowing but unknown. For the first time, he admitted to himself, "I keep choosing the darkness only because I know it." The old man's voice softened. "There is a cost to staying the same, Noah. A cost you don't notice because you pay it slowly. You pay with your potential, with your time, with your dreams, with your mental energy. And one day, you look back and realize that staying safe was the most dangerous decision you ever made. And if you've ever stayed in a situation you knew was destroying you, simply because leaving felt too uncertain, tap the like button, not for the channel, but for yourself, to acknowledge, "I deserve more than a familiar pain." The old man stood up slowly, and Noah followed him. They walked along the quiet park path, their footsteps echoing softly. After a moment, the old man said, "Your mind builds walls, Noah, walls that don't actually exist." Noah imagined a tall wall, cold and impossible to climb. "That wall," the old man continued, "is made of fears you created yourself. Fear of failing, fear of changing, fear of being judged, fear of moving into the unknown. But if you push it, it disappears." Noah swallowed hard. Deep down, he knew this was true. The old man stopped under a street lamp. "Your brain protects you," he said, "but it protects you in the wrong way. It doesn't guide you toward happiness, it guides you toward familiarity. It tells you lies like, stay where you are. Don't risk it, don't change, don't try, don't grow. Because it thinks safety is found in what you already know. Noah felt tears burn in his eyes. How do I break this? He whispered. The old man said something that shook Noah to the core. Change requires a small death. Noah looked at him, confused. You must let the old version of you die. The version that settled. The version that feared. The version that accepted a smaller life because it felt familiar. That version of you must end for the real you to begin. Noah felt frozen, because that version of himself was the only one he had ever known. Listen carefully, the man said as he walked. Pain is not the enemy. Discomfort is not the enemy. Fear is not the enemy. The enemy is staying the same when life is begging you to grow. Noah felt the truth hit him like a quiet earthquake. Noah stopped and sat down. His chest tightened, his breathing grew shallow. I'm scared, he said quietly. Not of leaving my life, but of leaving the version of me that lived it. The old man nodded. That fear means you're ready. And if you've ever been afraid not of changing your life but of changing yourself, tap the like button, not for the channel, but to whisper to yourself, I'm ready to outgrow who I used to be. The old man placed a hand on Noah's shoulder. You keep waiting for life to give you a sign, he said softly. But the truth is, the sign you're waiting for is you. Noah looked up, confused. The man continued, you're waiting for permission. Permission to walk away. Permission to try. Permission to grow. Permission to want more than the life you settled for. But Noah, you are the only one who can give that permission. Noah stood up slowly. His legs trembled. His hands trembled. His breath trembled. But his decision didn't. For the first time in years, he wasn't waiting for a different life. He was choosing one. He whispered, I don't want the familiar anymore. I want what's possible. The old man's smile widened. That's the moment everything changes. They began to walk together. You don't need to transform overnight, the man said calmly. Change isn't a leap, it's a direction. Every step you take away from what hurts is a step toward who you were meant to become. Noah exhaled slowly. It felt true. It felt possible. It felt freeing. They reached a crosswalk where the path split in two directions. The old man looked at Noah and said, This is the real comfort zone test. One road leads back to the life you know. The other leads to uncertainty, but also opportunity. Noah stared at both paths. His heart pounded, but his mind felt clearer than ever before. Noah took a deep breath and stepped toward the unfamiliar path. It wasn't a dramatic step. It wasn't a heroic step. It wasn't a fearless step. But it was the first step he had ever taken against the gravity of his old life. And that made it powerful. As Noah walked away, the old man called out to him. One last thing. Noah turned. The man smiled. You were never trapped by your comfort zone. You were trapped by your belief that you didn't belong outside of it. Noah felt tears in his eyes as he whispered, Thank you. The old man nodded gently. You don't owe me thanks. You owe yourself freedom. And as Noah disappeared into the warm glow of the night, one truth echoed in the quiet. Most people don't stay where they're comfortable. They stay where they're familiar. But life begins the moment you choose the unfamiliar path. The moment you decide that growth matters more than the safety of staying the same. If this story spoke to you, hit like, follow for more, and tell me in the comments. I'm ready to leave my comfort zone. Because the next chapter of your life won't appear on its own. You have to step toward it.